This person wanted the season to change. Why? The blades turn, but I bet they don't generate any power. Probably just swirling the air around. Time seems to pass differently around here. I feel so heavy and so light at the same time. I'm not really alone. I'm with myself. I'm with the earth. When a season turns, the reasons behind things might disappear, but the engine may survive. The power is not lost, it's just buried a little. They wanted the season to change because they were so alone. One melody is like me out here alone. I can't really live. have a feeling they use these music boxes to fall asleep. They kept themselves company with music. Two voices is like me and my mom. We can survive, but eventually you need more. Looks like they made it out of here. But what is this group? In the empty places, I found companionship in the tapes I recorded before leaving home. The elder told me the story of her life. I listened back to it, ready to note down anything that seemed important.
Let's set the scene for the listener. Whoever that might be. This is the elder speaking. We're sitting in the plaza, saying goodbye to a dear soul. We're here to see if there's anything useful in my mind that could help you on your trip. A century's worth of memories, dreams, fantasies, visions. Like a big, old, haunted library. When I die, this library will burn down. But which book should we check out first? I don't have all the answers, but I do feel the story of my life could help you understand what kind of world is out there. It's okay not to understand everything right away. The moment may pass before you've gotten a firm hold on it, but as long as you're there to witness it, to take it down in your journal, you and others to come will someday take the time to make sense of it all. First, I got old. That's an important step. Being an elder is all about how you react to strange events. The key is not to be surprised, but kind of frown, look, and say something like, "It begins." Never say, "I don't know." Say, "We dive into a pool of uncertainty." I was born on the ocean. My mother and father worked on a cruise ship, the short-lived but glorious Watery Republics, floating cities. Most won their independence by the time I was born. How can I describe them? They were a jewel of the golden season. Pleasure boats with a radical political program. How the golden age was a time of flags, logos. My mom taught me to read them. She was the ship's philosopher. My dad was a recycling engineer. Recycling on the ship was a matter of life and death. We had to get the most out of every object and watt of energy. These symbols and gestures were layered with meaning. There are signals in the way you might move your hands or close your eyes. Her job was to manage the symbols and their meanings. She designed the ship's flag, for example. Let me draw it for you. After the war, people were disgusted with groups and symbols. Keep an eye out on your trip. I bet you won't see a signal flag flying. Her name was Augusta Kale. I loved the way the ship would tilt and roll with the waves, especially as I fell asleep. It was so comforting. Picture me as a kid in bed, feeling the swaying of the ship. It was like being rocked to sleep as a baby. I loved exploring the ship too, wandering through the suites, the swimming pool, the game rooms, and oh, there were 2 dance halls. A large, elegant one and another one in the basement. A lot of my firsts were down there. My first dance, my first kiss, and so forth. Our ship was taken over in the early days of the war. That was the end of the Watery Republics. I heard the dance hall in the basement became a weapons cache. Took me half my life to say goodbye to the world I knew in my youth. Imagine me and my parents and everyone I knew being escorted off the ship by a company of soldiers. And I'm thinking, I hope they don't make a mess of my room. I was embarrassed by the younger kids who were crying their eyes out. But they knew, I guess. Yes, the start of the war was a turning of seasons, and we had been warned the season was going to end. Oh, but we didn't understand the warning. You see, one night, along a coastline, we saw beautiful lights shimmering above the water. Later, we found out this was an ancient warning system. It hadn't been used in so long. We didn't know what it meant. We just thought, well, ain't that pretty? We tried to stick together and camped out on the coast of the prismatic grounds. I thought it was all temporary. I couldn't see how things would return to normal, but I was sure they would. Aside from that delusion, I was okay. Are you sure you want me to keep going? The story gets darker from here on. Okay, so conditions in the camp were getting worse. My mom got lost in thought for long periods of time. She'd be completely still for hours, days even. We realized she caught, well, now we call it time misperception disorder. It's when you lose your ability to tell how much time is passing. A minute can feel like an hour. A day can pass in 10 seconds. What's so hard is the feeling of absolute loneliness. Normally, we're all at least roughly in the same flow of time. But with this disorder, you walk alone, truly. We heard about a traveling doctor who could cure these kinds of diseases. I decided to go find him. I found out his name was Dr. Fumio, and he traveled with his son Lucio. People talked about him like he was a god. I described my mom's condition to Dr. Fumio. He said there was no cure yet, but there was a village high in the mountains. He thought it was high enough he'd have a better chance at treatment. Lower places are more dangerous. Valleys are the worst. He invited me to join them in going to the village, but I wanted to go back and get my parents and bring them with me. Yes, our Caro village. People thought it had been destroyed, or was a myth. But Lucio had a vision which showed us how to get here. I packed my things and got ready to leave the next morning. That night, my mom came to me in a dream. She was standing in a field of flowers. I'd grown since I last saw her. We were the same height. She pressed a finger hard into my palm. She taught me well. I knew the meaning of the gesture. I knew no matter what I did, I'd never see my parents again. In the morning, I told Dr. Fumio I would follow him to Caro village. The next few weeks were very physically tiring, hiking, climbing. And when we found the village, building, planting, cleaning, Fumio brought sick people from all over the world, and they got better. The treatments worked. Everyone was healing. So why couldn't I? One day, we got word the war was over. We never found out how it ended. It was like peace just swept over the earth in a split second. There was a party in the plaza to celebrate the end of the war, but I couldn't bring myself to go. Yes, it was over. That night, as I was falling asleep, I felt the bed tilt and sway gently, as if it was being tossed on the waves of the ocean, as if I was back in my bedroom on the ship, as if I was back in my mother's arms, being rocked gently to sleep. I knew I was finally home, and nothing could hurt me.
I imagined coming upon a place as hidden and singular as my own village. Eventually, I found myself circling a valley, looking for a way in. This is a truly enormous, impassive structure. We never used this kind of technology in my village. Nobody trusted it.
Oh. The valley. One second.
I'm not the first to do this. Just the first in a long time.
Is that a strotophob? Yeah, what are they called? What is it? I love old gear like that. It's getting more and more rare. I had a camera, but it broke. Not that interesting of a story. What are you doing here? It is some moment we got going here. But I don't want to talk your ear off. What kind of stuff are you recording? That's the way to do it, if you ask me. If anyone asked me, I mean, the valley would be a good place to use those tools. Too bad it's closed down. Let me finish up here, huh?
I'll think about what kind of visitor I want to be.
Hey. This was like a second home for a while. That was fun earlier when you showed up. And I was carrying the cardboard man. You were like, who are these guys? I've been pretty bored. You know, the valley's going to be flooded soon. That's why nobody can go in there. The dam is falling apart. It's too old. There's nobody left who knows how to repair it. We're taking it down so we'll know when it'll collapse. It gives us time to evacuate everyone. Greyhounds. We're a community organization. We do all kinds of fun stuff. Health clinics, mine sweeping, daycare, evacuations, weddings. We're new. We'll do anything to make the future better than the present. No big deal. We're trying to get new things going. But it's hard. The past really has a tight grip on people. Doesn't feel like a fair fight. So we're trying to, well, anyway. It's funny. I stood guard here for a week, and I've only seen greyhounds like myself, and valley people on their way out. But now I see you, and you're like a new element or something. I've never met anyone doing what you're doing. And we greyhounds gotta support new things. So, I'm not supposed to let anyone in. How can I? I think you should go down into the valley and take a look. Gotta try something here. Dang it. I was trying to wink. Well, you get the idea. Go on and put that old gear to use. You can take my map of the valley, too. I don't need it anymore. I'll be down to pick everyone up around midnight. See you then.
I met a Greyhand. He let me into the valley. I think he wanted me to record what the Greyhands were up to. And he gave me a map. The assembly point seemed like a good place to start. I wonder what he expects me to discover in the valley. It seems like I'll have to wait for night to enter the shrine. The elder warned me about valleys. She said they were dangerous. I feel a dulcet tension in the air. I enter to see the moment between seasons. The Elder told me there's very little information about the years before 500. I am probably the last person that will ever be welcomed here by this sign. I wonder what the flowers have to say. She must have been important to have such an elaborate solitary tomb.
God of sleep, I've been gathering harpic, and I've been gathering courage. If my big prayer is wrong, if it goes against divine will, please spare the people of this valley. We're so desperate for peace.
A memory told over and over again. These metal animals are looking up, expectantly.
here are so weak.
I heard gunshots last night.
That was us. What is that?
Look at the pond, the water.
What is that powder?
Should we run or something?
Something frightening happened in this memory. But what was it?
People here are so weak.
I heard gunshots last night.
That was us. What is that?
Look at the pond, the water.
What is that powder?
Should we run or something?
A green space. I feel memory in the air like pollen. It reminds me of a poem my dad was never able to finish. The first line was, "If you want to awaken the dead, just whisper." Will the last voice to cry out in the wilderness not even be human? The artist has depicted the Greyhands as a child. They don't have faith in their capabilities, but see them as innocent? Is that your name on your collar? Let's see. You are Madrigal. Cows from all over the world came here to compete in cow stuff? The golden season seems like such a different world. These people had to leave so much behind.
We got a big show today.
Huge show.
Breaking news. The Greyhands have died.
We're being reborn, baby.
And we're taking suggestions for our new name.
Live on the air suggestions from the Rank and File.
You don't even need to be a Greyhand to suggest a name.
True, true.
The number to call is 0019. That is 0019. First caller, hit us with a name.
Hi, yeah. I was thinking the Bricklayers.
Okay. Bricklayers.
Laying some bricks. Well, yeah, thanks for the suggestion.
We'll be taking them all afternoon, so keep them coming.
That number again is 0019. You're listening to Greyhand Radio. We are broadcasting live from Greyhand HQ.
And we're gonna take a little break.
If the Greyhands are changing their name, you'd know them as something else. I've never drank cow's milk, let alone some kind of frozen version. And you are Mata. It sounds like they want to adapt their organization to the people in it, and not the other way around. There must be a lot of people going to the city if they need to keep track of them with cards. Imagine if the man I met is the only living Grey Hand, and the rest are cardboard. The Grey Hands want to end this season. Say they're going to build the next season. How? The Elder also said low places are dangerous. The city is high up like my village. Maybe it is safer. It's hard to imagine something new, a new way of living. But they're trying. The Grey Hands seem to care what people think about them. I should put the voice in the ringing sound. Then you wouldn't need to pick up.
Oh, thank God someone is still down there. I've been trying to get a hold of someone for hours. Oh, thank you. I forgot the Day Zero materials. You know, the visual literature, the warm bath of ideas? I left it at the dig site. It should be sitting on a barrel with a fruit sticker on it. Oh, wait! Hold on. I forgot to do the secret password. I don't even know who you are. Is it too late now, you think? Okay. What day is the day after tomorrow? Phew, okay. I did figure you'd be... Sorry, I didn't recognize your voice. Hard to keep track of all the new recruits. What else was I going to say? There was vandalism on a few of the posters. Bad stuff. I put them in the trash. Keep an eye out for more. Anyways, thanks for answering. The Day Zero material is in the dig site, pretty sure. It should be sitting on a barrel that has a fruit sticker on it. You know, I guess I was going to say you could bring it to me, but the flood will destroy it anyway. So actually, I was worried for nothing. Everything is lost in a flood. God, we really know what we're doing. I'm excited for this all to be over. I'm excited for this all to begin. Bye-bye now.
There seems to be suspicion about the real condition of the dam and why it's being taken down.
Stay where you can hear me, okay?
Thank God they have electricity down here.
Did you hear from your friend in the Watery Republic? Which one is it?
The Topaz. We can get a ride with them on the coast.
Great. And we're really just gonna leave the car behind.
That's a junker anyway.
Beautiful.
I told you 786 would be our year. I sang you that whole song about it.
They sound so free and happy, just roaming around the world.
Stay where you can hear me.
Compared to my village, they lived in the open here. They lived on the land itself. I hope in the future, at least some people are still living like that. Fabric negotiates with wind and gravity. The end result is flight. When I cobble together my own religion, this will be a god. Looks like there's no one around anymore to enforce this. I wish Pate could call this hotline to talk about his heavy dream. There are a lot of these signs. They must really want to keep people out of this area. I found a dig site that is fenced off from view. What were they doing here? A greyhound said he left his materials behind. It should be somewhere around here.